Money making in Grand RP is nothing like regular GTA 5 Online, because over here you can't just hop in and do a simple fetch quest or drive somewhere to instantly gain $100,000 in your bank account. In Grand RP, businesses are owned by real people, not NPCs, and almost every job you do requires a significant amount of time investment to make any amount of money, which makes it all the more challenging if you're trying to do something like a $100 million speedrun in Grand RP. But I'm here to tell you that while it is harder than GTA 5 Online, it's not impossible, and if you put in the time and you know which types of content to grind, you too can be the proud owner of $100 million within your first year of playing Grand RP. In fact, I'll show you exactly how to get there, starting with your first day on Grand RP without purchasing a single Grand coin. Before we start though, I recommend you sign up with a family to make your first few months of your grind a whole lot easier, and the best way to do this is by joining the Hazard Gang, which is my personal family in Grand RP. By the way, if you're new, just click the link on the video description or pinned comment, which will take you directly to their sign up page. Over there, you just select English server number 1, which also happens to be the most populated server, and then enter your login details like your email and password that you'll use for the Grand RP launcher. If you sign up with my link, you're gonna get bonus rewards like a premium car as well as $25,000 in starter cash right after creating your character. Also, Grand RP just got an update that lets it work with GTA 5 Enhanced on PC, which means you won't have to downgrade back to Legacy like you do with every other RP server. And a lot of the activities I'm about to show in this guide work much better when you have friends to protect you on your journey, so if you can, invite some of your buddies over to Grand RP, and together you'll be making the big bucks in no time. Alright, so after you've exited the Grand RP hotel and finished your beginner quest line, you'll be able to interact with any type of content you want as long as you meet the level requirements and have the money. In Grand RP, there are a few beginner jobs that we can do to increase our level and get enough cash for a starter business. With these beginner jobs, you can make up to $500,000 per day, and that means $1 million in 2 days, or up to $15 million a month if you play regularly. And the first thing you need to do is check your daily tasks. These are very similar to the daily challenges that you can see in your interaction menu in GTA Online or Red Dead Online, and over here, it's the same kind of deal. Press M to open up your menu, look at the bottom left part of your screen, and you'll see a tab called Daily Tasks. Open this, and you'll get 3 jobs that you have to complete. There are always going to be simple everyday chores like place an ad on Life Invader or drink alcohol at any bar. Once you do all 3 tasks and spend another 2 hours playing the game, because the tasks themselves only take 10 minutes total, you'll be able to grab a daily container as a reward, which will contain all sorts of random loot. You can either open this container for yourself, or what I like to do is sell it at the beach market for some easy cash, because there's always people buying these things for $30,000 to $50,000 depending on the server you're playing in. And then on top of daily tasks, Grand RP also has these things called achievements, which are basically your career progress rewards from GTA 5 Online, and as you keep playing the game, you'll gradually hit milestones and complete achievements, so you can go ahead and collect your cash rewards for those as well. Then, for the last type of progression-based reward, Grand RP has quests, which are little bucket list items that you can check off as you explore the city of Grand RP and participate in new activities. For every quest you complete, whether it's an individual quest or family activity, you'll earn quest points. These quest points by themselves don't give you cash, but you can use them to then buy valuable cases, which, as I've explained earlier, can be easily sold at the beach market since they contain items like batteries, luminous stones, anti-radar, etc., and therefore these cases are always in high demand. So just from progression-based rewards like daily tasks, you're making approximately $50,000 a day, which is not that bad at all. Then you have your daily login rewards, which activate after you log in and play the game for X number of days in a row. This number changes as it's on a roadmap where the more days you log in consecutively, the more money you stand to make per day. Think of it like the daily challenge streak multiplier in Red Dead Online, where if you do a daily challenge every day for 1 week in a row or more, you get a multiplier on top of the gold gained. And here, it sort of works the same way, but instead of a flat multiplier, Grand RP gives you exclusive items as you reach a new tier in the login rewards. So for example, on day 7, you might get a cash bonus. For day number 10, a t-shirt. Day number 50, a backpack. Day 60, you'll even get a car, which isn't some rusty rat loader, but an actual sports car worth a lot of money. So definitely do your daily login rewards, as you can make a couple $100,000 a day just by logging into the game. Next, we've got some office tasks to do. You can find these by visiting the stock exchange and selecting the option, I would like to know more about the offices. Then select the state office option, since we don't own our personal office, but we can still do contracts for employers who put out ads on the job board. You can select any office you want from the job board, and some of them even claim to offer bonus cash on top of whatever the base reward value is within that server. For this, they'll ask you to visit their personal Discord and share a screenshot of you completing the task, but be careful because some of these families are quite shady and they're just scamming players into doing their tasks, and then after you post your screenshot in their Discord, they won't actually give you any cash bonuses. Doing all 6 tasks for any office will complete the contract and give you $60,000 to $72,000, since each task pays $10,000 to $12,000. Reselling is our next daily activity, and for this you'll have to collect a few materials first. Things like copper, batteries, wires, t-shirts, containers, containers, backpacks, masks, sneakers, guns, cars, and even houses. Yes, you can flip houses and cars in this game, just like in real life if you have the negotiation skills to convince the buyer that you're offering him a good deal. Reselling is probably the easiest and most stress-free way to make loads of cash in Grand RP, as it does require very little grinding other than whatever you do for the materials. And if you've done a bit of mining, or if you've done office tasks like I was talking about earlier in the video, you already have a bunch of stuff laying in your inventory that you can sell. The key to being a good reseller is A, understanding what is in demand right now and how much it's selling for, as well as B, being able to strike a good deal with the buyer. For example, if you're selling a bunch of copper in bulk, what you can do instead of putting it up for sale on the beach market like some small store owners, you can instead post an advertisement and get in touch directly with a buyer who's willing to pay you 200 or 300 grand for a large order. Guns are also high demand items on this server, and you can sometimes sell these on the black market for 2 to 3 times what you originally paid for them. With reselling, if you have good items as well as good negotiation skills, you can easily score $1 to $2 million a month, possibly more. However, if you're looking for a more short-term investment, the investment app is perfect for you. And here we have 2 options: long-term or daytime. Daytime is going to be ideal for new players because with long-term investments, you could make more money, but it will require a significant capital investment up front, and you'll also have to play a minimum number of hours. For example, the highest tier long-term investment pays out $10 million, but you have to start by investing $5 million into this plan, and then you also have to play for 500 hours, which is an insane amount right there. And I don't think any of you should take this option during your beginner days or even during your later stages of Grand RP as a career, because it's just so time intensive. 500 hours is close to 2 months of playing Grand RP daily, and all that for $10 million is just not worth it because we have so many other better ways of making money, like the daytime investments. I'd go with something like the 2 or 3 hour plan, because that way you're making $25,000 to $40,000 a day, which is a reasonable amount, but you also have the freedom to do anything you want during those 2 or 3 hours while your investment matures in the background. I think the 3 hour investment is the ideal sweet spot, as it pays $40,000, while the 2 hour option is a whole tier down at $25K, so you're gaining a lot more money for the amount of time that you spend if you use daytime investment plan number 3. Alright, now let's talk about a money making method that's actually time sensitive, so you can only do it if you're in the right place at the right time. If you open up your phone and select the treasure app, every hour you'll get photos of 3 separate locations where a treasure can spawn, and there's also a battle tab where a single person can come to claim the valuable container. You should probably bring some family members for this one, because fights can be quite unpredictable in Grand RP, and you never know who's going to show up and what sort of skills or firepower they're going to bring with them. So it's best to have some backup with you, and every hour that's an easy $100,000, because if you win the battle, not only will you get a valuable container, but you'll also get a desert scarf container. Solar panels are also a simple way to make over $200,000 per day, because you simply buy as many solar panels as you can afford, set them up someplace in the open that gets a lot of sunlight, then come back every hour to make sure they're being repaired, because solar panels degrade over time. You could also pay some newbies to install these panels for you, but once these panels have been converted into batteries, you can then sell the batteries for a decent amount of profit. Ideally, you want family members or friends who will help you protect the panels, because the same newbies you pay to install the panels can give away their locations to thieves who will then come and steal the panels while you're out doing your various jobs. So if you have a family house, use that, or find some place that's secluded and doesn't see much traffic. Somewhere out in the mountains or in the desert, for example, and keep returning every hour to repair your panels until they've been fully converted into batteries, which you can then sell for 10 to 20 times what you paid for the panels themselves. The more you buy, the bigger your profit margins will be. So try purchasing at least 10 to 15 solar panels at a time. And while your solar farm is working in the background, you could try out a few blue collar jobs like firefighter, trucker, postal delivery worker, etc. to fill up the downtime and make some decent cash as well. Just remember to select private orders whenever you work the trucker job, because those pay the most, and you'll also receive a bonus directly from the business owner. From trucking, you can expect to make about $70K per hour. As a firefighter, you can make more if you party up with friends, as you'll be able to extinguish fires faster, and it's around $35,000 per hour from that. If you throw in a few bonus activities like spinning the casino wheel, mining, collecting stuff from landslides, etc., you can easily match that $500,000 per day number that I mentioned earlier. Solar panels alone give you $200,000 to $300,000, and from working as a trucker, you can make another $60K. Reselling stuff like seeds and whatnot from farms will be another $30K on top of that, and then postal deliveries and firefighting gives you a further $50,000 to $60K, and the office contracts also give you $60,000 too. Then if you collect your daytime investment, that's another $40,000. So as you can see, $500K a day in Grand RP is very doable. Once you have at least $20 to $30 million from grinding activities, investments, and jobs, you can think about opening up a business, but be warned, even $100 million isn't enough to buy a lot of the high demand businesses in Grand RP, which is why I generally don't recommend them to new players. After your first year or two on the server, you can buy a decent business, or maybe you want to flip a business for a higher price, but that does require you to have good negotiation skills and a solid location. So yeah, it's just not that reliable, but if you must own a business, I can recommend 4 really good ones right now: the chip tuning shop, the 24/7 24/7 store, the gas station, as well as ATMs. Of these, the 24/7 store and ATM are probably the most affordable, as you can get them for under 20 to 40 million, but it will still take you half a year to a year before you get that money back and start seeing some profits. So yeah, if you just want to make $100 million in profit ASAP, stay away from businesses and grind those activities and jobs that I talked about. You'll easily have $1 million or $2 million within your first 2 to 3 days. That's all I have for this guide. Remember that making $100 million in Grand RP is not the same at all as making $100 million in vanilla GTA 5 online. It is a lot harder over here, and if I were to put a number on it, I'd say it'll take you about 5 times as long to make the same amount of money in Grand RP that you do in GTA 5 online. Of course, it depends how long you play, whether you log in regularly or not, and how efficiently you stack each activity to minimize downtime. But if you're able to make $5 to $10 million a month in Grand RP, that's actually a really good amount to be grinding compared to most players out there. So get in, start grinding, don't forget to have fun, and remember, this type of challenge is supposed to be that, an actual challenge, and you're gonna do just fine. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like on this video, share it with your friends if you found it entertaining. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and you want to see more GTA RP content like this. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios amigos.